Hello and welcome back, and thanks for joining us to talk a little bit more in depth about how the CNA growth to goal model can help you grow your business moving into the next year and beyond. Now, my colleague Brian Acuto has already done an excellent job at providing a high-level overview of what our analysis entails and really what the goals of this process are up front. He's talked about the three key components of that analysis, looking at our financial analysis and assessment, our industry comparison, and finally, our operational analysis. What I'm here to talk about in a little bit more detail is that last component of our assessment, which includes the operational analysis. And what I want to focus in on today is really one of the key drivers that we look at in evaluating the value of any business, and that's senior management. And what you're going to find is really, regardless of where you are in the process of growing your business and what your focus is in terms of objectives and goals for that business, you're going to find that senior management is always going to be a key component of evaluating something that's very important to any external party looking at the value of your business, and that's predictability. And when I talk about the different stages of growth, what we usually do is look at three key buckets: predictable cash flows and profits, predictable growth through revenue growth, and predictable equity value, which is more in line with a business owner who's looking to eventually exit sooner rather than later a lot of the time. Now, again, regardless of what bucket you're in, senior management will be key and critical to increasing the value and achieving your objectives as an organization. And I'm sure that comes as no surprise to anyone in a small business environment. When we look at a senior management team, we usually break that team down into four key components. First is roles and responsibilities. And really the question that we're trying to answer here is, are there clear and understood roles within the company that support the organization's objectives? Additionally, team functionality. Does the senior management team that you have in place work effectively together? And are they able to work effectively and collaborate together in order to achieve your company's goals overall? Next, we look at compensation, right? This is a risk component. Is the senior management team within your organization competitively compensated? And is that compensation tied to both individual performance within the organization and, most importantly, which we'll get into a lot through these sessions, is it tied to company objectives and overall company performance? And as managers within your organization take a step up, that's going to be more and more key critical. What you want to think of it as is, does your management team have skin in the game in regard to your objectives for your business? What we also look at is succession planning. If there are major shifts or turnover within your senior management team, do you as a business owner have a personnel plan in place in order to close that gap and in order to prevent any sort of hiatus in business performance? And that's really key and critical, again, for anyone coming into the business, for continuance, right, and predictability into the future. The last component that we look at when we talk about senior management team effectiveness and how that influences the value of your business is reporting relationships. And really the bottom line here is, can the business operate without you, the business owner, in the building, right, with an active presence day in and day out for your business? What I want to do is go into a short series throughout these videos discussing why each one of these components is so important and what you need to focus on in terms of addressing each one of these components. What you'll find is that these things take time, right? And that's why it's very important, and that's why I mentioned at the beginning of this video that regardless of where you are in your organization, whether you're a younger organization with a 30-year outlook, where you're planning to be in that business, where you're planning to foster growth within that business, or you're someone who's been in business for 30 to 40 years and you're looking to eventually exit that business, whether that be through an external third party or an internal succession or sale. Now, the important part is you have to start immediately. And what you're going to find is, if you can start to lay down the foundations of a very strong senior management team, you're going to be able to build a lot more predictable value within your organization across the other value drivers that we're going to be discussing together, including culture, including sales and marketing, and including the efficiency of your operation, to name just a few. The last thing that I want to leave you with today is the important fact that this does not just surround structure. Now, management systems and controls are going to be key and critical to your success. But what I want to make sure you walk away with is the understanding that you also need to have effective individuals within those management systems and controls. And that's why it's so key and critical for any growing business, or really any business with objectives, to invest the time, the money, and the focus of your organization on developing strong senior leadership that understands the mission and the vision of your business and has the skill set, both soft and technical, in order to drive those results forward and exceed those goals. I'm very excited to jump into each one of these value drivers with you and looking forward to talking soon. Thanks a lot.